Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and by the title of the video, it might come off like I'm picking on Junkrat mains. It might come off like me saying, oh, if you play Junkrat, you're such a terrible person, or oh, if the only hero you play Junkrat, you're so cancer. No, I'm not trying to make it come like that. What I'm trying to make with this video is just trying to point out the flaws with Junkrat, not the players themselves, but also just give advice for anyone who does want to main Junkrat, because as you guys know, he did get the extra concussion mine, and he also did get changes to his tire, but I am aware that there are also some new changes coming that won't make his tire so overpowered, because right now as it stands, while you can still shoot it down and while it's still one of the most vulnerable ultimates in the game, in its current state what would happen is that people would get the rip tire and they would just climb walls, and what would happen is it would carry momentum. So while you still can't shoot it down, it would be pretty much impossible because you don't know where, oh, it just came from the freaking sky, and that's not really what the tire, well, while you can still climb with the tire previously, so while the tire and just his ultimate and just his whole hero kit in general is still very good, right now what's going on is that Junkrat is pretty much the new Bastion. If you guys remember back in Season 4 at the beginning, Bastion did get a bunch of changes that made him, I wouldn't say overpowered, but very, very viable and very, very good, to the point where you needed a Bastion in every single game to where you wouldn't win if you didn't have it. And right now, people are kind of having the same mentality with Junkrat and are quote-unquote becoming Junkrat mains. Well, while as I still thought Junkrat was still a good hero and you still could get a lot of work done with him, it was the kind of hero that you kind of had to master to really carry with the team, and where you had a lot of potential unlocked at that point. People could still pick up Junkrat, because I'm not saying Junkrat doesn't take skill, but he's one of those heroes where people can pick him up and still do very well and still get a lot of damage just because of what his hero is all about. You know, he has his 120 concussion mine, and then every grenade is 120. While it is still uncontrollable and very inconsistent, if you got 2 lucky hits on like, say, let's say a Genji or say a Soldier Center 6, you killed an enemy right there. So that's where people got a lot of like, oh, well, I'm gonna play Junkrat, become a Junkrat main, but it's the people that actually became the Junkrat and knew the Junkrat that really mastered them. And then after this patch, while the still mentality still stands, now he's picked on a lot more consistent basis. But here's the thing that I wanted to just make this video about, and also to address to all the new Junkrat mains out there, because again, I'm not trying to attack you and saying that you can't main Junkrat, because no, he's a great hero, he can do a lot of work. But that doesn't mean that just because he got a lot of changes to where he got 1 extra concussion mine and also changes to his ultimate, but really what I wanted to focus on was that 1 concussion mine. Just because he got those changes doesn't mean it's going to redirect all those counters to him. This is the biggest problem, because I'm seeing it in my comment section below that in Season 6, the biggest quote-unquote problem is that there are new Junkrat mains, or in every single game there's a Junkrat, or oh, you always get an attacking Junkrats, whereas beforehand with Bastion, you wouldn't win if you didn't get a Bastion. But right now, you could still win if you didn't have the Junkrat, but I'm not saying that if you were to play Junkrat that you're automatically going to lose, you're automatically going to win. But here's the thing, people aren't practicing, people aren't taking his extra concussion mine to their fullest potential, because really what you're supposed to be using that extra 1 for, and there's no correct way to really play him, but what you should really try to use that 1 for is for mobility purposes, because that was his biggest problem. Because yes, you can have 120 damage with it, and that's usually what was the killing blow for a lot of heroes, but you can also be very mobile with it, and now you have the best of both worlds, where you have a killing blow but also very mobile, but people aren't taking that second mobility concussion mine to its fullest potential. But not even that, also focusing on the counters to him. Just because he got that 1 extra mine doesn't mean that the counters still aren't there, and that's what so many people are forgetting about. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that I really don't like Junkrat one-trick ponies, but I love Junkrat flex players, because there's a big difference. Junkrat one-tricks only play Junkrat attack, defense, control maps, whatever is on the other team, whatever is on your team, they're always gonna play Junkrat, and you're allowed to. Like, I'm gonna be straight up, even though it can be a little bit annoying for any hero, not just Junkrat, whether it's Samba, Genji, Soldier, Winston, whatever the case may be, but a Junkrat flex player, which is someone that I love, is seeing the situation that's around them, seeing the map, seeing if they're on an attack and their defense. They know they're great with Junkrat, and that's their main hero, is what they play. I mean, heck, some might consider me a Mei flex, that I could play on any type of situation, but the flex part comes with identifying who's on the enemy team. They're saying, oh, they have a Pharah, oh, they have a Zarya, oh, they have a Diva, they have a Soldier, they have a lot of people at range. I'm gonna have to flex to a different hero. That's the kind of Junkrat player you guys should try to be. But again, I'm not your dad. I'm not trying to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but I'm giving you guys advice for anyone who is wanting to play this new hero, this new changed hero, because is he the #1 hero? Is he completely taking over the meta? No, but he's in a lot more games just because of those single load changes. So here's the advice portion of the video for anyone that's actually want to play Junkrats. And again, some of these people might not even watch this. A lot of these people won't even watch this video, but for anyone that is playing Junkrat on a consistent basis, you're definitely allowed to. You're allowed to, but also know and identify the situation around you for if you want to climb. Because whenever I see a Junkrat, I identify, okay, is there a soldier? If those two factors are in this game, like if there's a Junkrat and there isn't a soldier, I'm going to Pharah. Wanna know why? Because gravity. You know, Junkrat doesn't know about gravity. He didn't pass simple high school physics, so I'm gonna go in the sky, fire down Junkrat, and boom, he killed me. Yes, the Junkrat masters are still gonna be able to kill me, but really, I'm just gonna fly far away, fire at the Junkrat, and kill him. It's just as simple as that. And that was just one example, but there's also it's just the main factor of identifying your counters. So really, if there's two heavy counters, which is the biggest problem with Junkrat, is that if there's a Zarya and a Pharah, if there's a D.Va and a Zarya, if there's a Zarya, and I keep mentioning Zarya because this is the reason why pros don't play Junkrats, because Zarya is so great, and well, if they see the grenades, then they're just gonna absorb the damage from the bubble. So if there's two heavy counters, this is probably the time that you should switch, because if those two heroes focus you, and they counter you, if they defense matrix and also Zarya bubbles and they just fire at you, you're dead, and that all could have been negated if maybe you played a different hero, like maybe also Zarya, or maybe Mei, or maybe Soldier, or literally anybody else that doesn't get countered heavily by those two heroes. So to wrap up this video, do I like the changes that he received? I definitely do. Do I like the Junkrat mains that are coming in competitive? Even that to an extent, yes I do, because he was a great hero beforehand, just people didn't know how to work with it, or people just didn't know how to use him, or he was just countered heavily. But here's the thing, I like the Junkrat flex players, because I feel like every Junkrat player should know how to play Soldier on the side of it, because more than likely, I gave the example with Pharah, this isn't the only counter, but it's a pretty logical counter. If you know how to play Soldier and they switch to Pharah, this is probably the time that you switch off Junkrat to play Soldier. If you know how to play those two heroes, oh, you're gonna be golden. Or even on the opposite side of the spectrum, if you want to play Junkrat still, and there's a God Soldier, then you're gonna be in pretty good hands, because the Soldier's gonna be able to focus the Pharah, the Soldier's gonna be able to focus the Zarya, the D.Va, whatever the case may be. So really identify who's on your team, realize what heroes they like to play, and be willing to switch is all I'm trying to say. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.